Santa Barbara High School Junior Statesman Class of 1992, and it's a pleasure to be with all of you today. I want to take you back a little further in time than the year I graduated, 1992. The date was February 1st, 1960. 4 young African-American college students, just a year or two older than all of the junior statesmen sitting out here today, walk into the Woolworth's department store in Greensboro, North Carolina. They walk to the back, they find the lunch counter, they sit down, they ask to be served. Now this is the segregated South of 1960, and these are 4 African American men asking to be served. And so as you would expect, they were denied service. These 4 men occupied a public place to protest inequality in their society. They took peaceful, direct action, nonviolent, direct action in order to effect change in their society. They came back the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that. Their movement spread to lunch counters all across the segregated South of the United States, and most of you have probably seen some of the pictures. If you have smartphones, you can Google image it right now. Google image Woolworth's lunch counter sit-in, and you will see some of the iconic photos of these protesters taking direct action. Some of them had ketchup poured in their hair, drinks thrown in their faces. It got messy, it got ugly. 6 months later, Woolworths desegregated their lunch counters. A huge step forward in the civil rights movement for this country. Now today, you can actually visit that lunch counter. You can go and see it for yourself, but it's not in Greensboro. Do you know where they've put it? It's in the Smithsonian Museum. So important was the actions taken by these young college students to peacefully occupy a public space to protest inequality in our society. And so successful were they in their movement that the government of the United States enshrined the place of their protest in our nation's most cherished museum. That's how important peaceful, nonviolent, occupying protest is to the fabric of our democracy. It's really no different what's happening today with the Occupy movement. Peaceful, nonviolent, direct action, occupying public space, trying to change inequality in our society. So fundamental to our democracy. That's what's happening today in the United States. That's what we need to stand up for and support, because it's fundamental to the history of our country. It's how civil rights moves forward. It's how inequality gets erased in our society. We should be behind this movement, and that is why the Occupy movement, just as the lunch counter movement in Greensboro, North Carolina, and the segregated South, should be allowed to occupy public space without a permit indefinitely until the changes that we need to see in our society, until the inequality in our society is ended. Thank you. And I'm happy to yield to questions for my remaining time. Where's my timekeeper?
He's right here.
Great. How much time do we have?
30
for
seconds.
30 seconds. Yes, in the back. Yes, you.
You said there was it was like a how do you explain like people are being raped at the Wall Street protests, and there's people who've been murdered at the Wall Street protests, and there's violence and there's vandalism. It's all the time so how do you say that it's peaceful?
That's a very important question, and I'm really glad that you asked that. In any movement, there are going to be a couple of bad actors. Crime is not acceptable, rape not acceptable, vandalism not acceptable. Absolutely, you're right about that. But those are isolated incidents. When you look at the cities across this country that my debate partner is going to talk about later in this debate, the movement is overwhelmingly peaceful. There are a few incidents, but what needs to be addressed is the crime, not ending the movement itself.
That would be tough.
Great, thank you.